In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, to whom we all have to turn back. Honorable listeners and respectable audience, you know that we have started a series of linguistics. Yesterday we talked about plosive sounds, that how plosive sounds are formed. Listeners and audience, today I am going to share with you the topic that is fricatives. In this lecture, I will talk about fricatives. That what are fricatives? How fricative sounds they are found. We already talked about the place of articulation for fricative sounds. But today we are talking about how fricative sounds are found. Fricative sounds are formed whenever the air is coming from our lungs and then the air is passing through the narrow passage and the sound produced with a hissing sound. That kind of sound is known as fricative. Listeners and audience, if you want to know and understand and recognize fricative sounds, then you should know and keep these points in your mind. The first point is that fricative sound is produced with a narrow passage. This is one point. The next point is that fricative sound is produced with hissing sound. And the third point is that whenever you place your hand or you just held your head in the front of your mouth and then you are making fricative sound, then you will feel the air stream or the stream of the air. So these are the recognition and identification or identity of fricative sounds. Now there is a question, and the question is that how many fricative sounds are there? Almost there are 8 fricative sounds. Like we have th sound, like thank you, th sound, the sound, the, and we have so sound, sh sound, and we also have j sound, z sound, and same is the case. We also have another sound, and that is v sound. I'm repeating, we have f sound, v sound, z sound, j sound, and we also have so sound, sh sound. So all these we have, they are called fricative or fricatives. Listeners and audience, remember that fricatives, they are also known as continuant consonants. Why they are known as continuant consonants? Because as much as you have air in your lungs, as much you can produce fricative sounds, you can prolong fricative sounds. So you can continue the production of this sound as compared to other sounds like plosive. Take the example of plosive. I say t. So I can't continue further. But if I'm talking about fricative sound, so I can continue as much as I have air in my lungs. Take the example of s. And hissing sound is also there, and as much as air I have in my lungs, I can continue. Take the example of sh. Take the example of s. So here the characteristic of this kind of sound is that the two articulators or the articulators, when they are fairly close to each other, narrowly close to each other, and there is a little gap in articulators. So that's why because of that little gap and because of the closeness, little closeness and little gap and narrow passage between the articulators, then hissing sound is produced. But if you actually you want to make the gap a bit in a lengthy way, or you want to prolong that gap or increase that gap between your articulators, so then there will be no hissing sound. So this is also the identity of fricative sounds. So listeners and audience, I think this topic is clear to you. Thank you.